Hey YouTube, Chris here from Challenger Chris. Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I uploaded a video, but I'm back on task with a new Pokemon challenge. Today we're going to see if I can beat a solo challenge in Pokemon Fire Red with a Mankey. Mankey is an awesome Pokemon and the definition of a glass cannon, with high speed and attack stats and lackluster defense and health stats. So it's basically one shot or get one shot. As for the rules, it's quite simple. Only Mankey in battle. No items in battle except held items. Now if you enjoy the content, leave a like and subscribe for more. Now the question of the day is going to be, who's your favorite fighting type Pokemon? So I start off the game by naming myself Chris and naming my rival Aggie because the YouTube algorithm is quite aggravating. And after that I proceed to try and go to the next city, but I'm stopped by Professor Oak, who brings me to his lab where he gives me my choice of a starter. The starter I choose is the pig monkey Pokemon, Mankey, and I name him Jackie after my favorite martial artist, Jackie Chan. I slaughter our rival's Charmander, who will evolve into a flying type Charizard and have the type advantage over me. But honestly, it won't be too much of a problem. Hopefully, maybe, perhaps, I don't know, we'll see. I check my nature and Jackie has a naive nature, which is up in speed and down in special defense, which makes it a little more susceptible to psychic moves and makes us a little bit more of a glass cannon. So to counteract that, I do some EV training and attack and speed EVs so I can maximize his positive traits. I then head over to Brock at level 14 where I'll proceed to decimate his rock team, the rock hard Pokemon trainer in my ass. From there, I head to Cerulean City. On the way, we pick up the Dome Fossil because I'm a rebel. When I arrive in Cerulean City, I decide to take on the rival first, because I'm afraid of Starmie's special moves. With his high special attack and Mankey's low special defense, it wouldn't be too much of a good thing. But this doesn't quite go to plan, as my rival's Pidgeotto uses a sand attack. I do get past it with no problems, but when I get to Charmander, I begin to miss and I end up getting roasted. Now, on to the next attempt after a couple levels, and it kind of goes the same way. But attempt number 3, third one's a charm, we get past my rival's stupid fire lizard. And I don't miss, take it out with one rock tomb. Now, after doing the Nugget Bridge and failing to join Team Rocket, I pick up the SS ticket and take on Misty. Even with the level advantage, we still fall short of Starmie's water pulse and bad confusion luck. After that, I try again, and this time I don't get past Staryu. So, I decide to head down to the SSN and gain a couple of levels. While on board, I do run into my rival again, but he's much easier. Most of his Pokemon are one-shots aside from his Charmeleon, who barely holds on from a rock tomb. But he goes down to Karate Chop. We rub the old captain's back for the cut HM, grab a few things in Vermilion City, and head back to Misty for the rematch. But here's the thing, I don't get confused and easily run through our whole team, even getting a useless crit at the end. After that, I decide to head back to Vermilion and completely destroy Lieutenant Surge. As long as you don't get paralyzed, his team's physical defense is really poor, so he's actually quite the pushover. I head over to Celadon City and decide it would be best to take on Giovanni first, considering his whole team is weak to fighting, and it goes just as planned. After that, I decide to take on the Pokemon Mansion rival. Since I should have a significant level advantage, and Erica's team has great special attack, but we don't have enough health to get through his Gyarados and his Charmeleon. I I try again and get stomped by his Pidgeotto this time. Feeling at an all-time low, I decide to go to Erica's gym and clear out the trainer so I can gain a level or two. Now while I'm there, I decide to take on Erica just as a test. But it turns out it was a good idea, as Aerial Ace completely decimates her teams. After that confident boost, we head back to the rival, and this time I get through it with a small moveset change. Swapping out Focus Energy for Aerial Ace, I'm able to take out his Execute before he can set up any screens or leaf seeds. So that way I'm able to get to his Gyarados and take his Intimidate ability and still proceed to destroy it and his Charmeleon. After that, I get the Pokeflute and take down the Silphco rival. This fight is usually one of the hardest, but since his Pidgeot goes for the kill with Wing Attack instead of Sand Attack, I have full accuracy for the whole battle. Even though I'm only at half health, I one-shot most of his team, and the only one I can't take a one-shot down is Gyarados. But since he uses bad attacks like Twister, I'm easily able to take him down with a second Rock Tomb. Surprisingly, the rival is usually the hardest fight in Silphco, but I actually lose to Giovanni because I don't have anything for Poison-type Pokemon. So I head to Koga to do some training, gain some levels, but I run into the same situation where I can't do enough damage to the Poison types. So I head back to Giovanni and get walled again. But then I get a brilliant idea. I think I should just set up. So I use Bulk Up to raise my defense and attack stacks, and with that I easily run through his whole team. After that, I decided to go back to Koga. With my plan to set up, I still lose, thanks to Toxic, from his first coughing, taking me out against the wheezing. I try again, because I know if I start attacking as soon as I get Toxic, I should be able to win. But this time his coughing poisoned me with Sludge, which is great because it's a regular poisoning and it doesn't build up. I'm able to set up my bulk ups and one-shot his whole team. After that, I decide to head over to Blaine on Cinnabar Island. I begin with setup and proceed to live a Fire Blast. In the red, of course. Now I one-shot his whole team all the way up to Arcanine, where I miss my Rock Tomb and go down to a Fire Blast. I continue to try again. And after 5 resets, I decide to go and take on Sabrina and see if she'll be a little easier. And would I be able to gain a level or two to take down the Arcanine? After setting up 2 bulk ups, I smash Sabrina's Reflect with a Brick Break, and then Aerial one-shot her whole team. With the March Badge in hand, I head back to Blaine. With a few extra levels, after setting up 3 bulk ups, I easily one-shot the whole team, even Arcanine. Now with 7 badges ahead, I head to Viridian City to take on the final gym. And after 3 bulk ups, I easily run through his whole team too. I mean, his whole team is weak to fighting. With setup, Mankey is easily running through the Kanto region. Let's see if this streak continues. I take on the last rival fight before he becomes a champion, but because of some bad RNG, I do go down to his Pidgeot. I decide to try again and have much better luck, but go down to his Gyarados. After 6 resets, I finally get the luck I need on Pidgeot, where he keeps going for Feather Dance, and I fortunately don't miss any of my moves. With that, I pick up a few things like the Leftovers held item and the move Rock Slide, which is a direct upgrade to Rock Tomb. And then I head into the Indigo Plateau to take on the Elite Four. Do you think I can win on my first try? Let me know in the comments. I start off with Lorelei. I bulk up once knowing Dugong will go for Hell, knock it out, and Slowbro takes a spot. I don't have anything super effective for him, but I take him down with 1 HP, and he gets knocked out by the Hell damage. Thankfully, it doesn't get a full restore, and I proceeded to one-shot the rest of her team. I full restore up and head into Bruno's room. Bulk up 3 times in front of the Onyx, knowing I can take anything he throws at me. And then I proceed to one-shot his whole team. I know that's getting old, but I don't have too many options with Mankey. I heal up and head to Agatha's room. But I don't really have a plan, and it shows, where I get toxic first time and shortly after taken out by his Golbat Air Cutter. I decided to go back in because that's just bad luck, and I try again. And we start with Lorelei again, and I set up 3 bulk ups and proceed to one-shot all his Pokemon except for Slowbro. But he's not too much of a problem. Afterwards, back to Bruno's room for 3 bulk ups, and I do have to say the rest, you know what you come for, and it was just to see for Agatha's rematch. Now this time I set up 3 bulk ups on his first Gengar. I do take a Toxic while he sets up double teams. I use Arrow Ace since it can't miss. I one-shot the whole team, surviving the battle on just 3 HP, thanks to the Toxic damage racking up. I'm excited and nervous to be moving on to Lance, especially since he says he's a dragon trainer, but he's more of a flying trainer. He leads off with Gyarados, and I decided to set up as many bulk ups as possible. Rock Slide one-shots the Gyarados, the Aerodactyl, the Dragonite. I'm afraid to miss on a Dragonair, so I switch over to Brick Break for those 2, and they are both one-shot. With that, we're moving on to the last battle of the run, which is our rival who happens to be the champion now. The battle starts off with me setting up bulk ups, but his Pidgeot decides to set up Scent Attack, so I only get about 3 bulk ups in. Luckily, I do get off my Rock Slide and it doesn't miss. Next, Alakazam comes out, and I instantly feint it to an Aerois. Charizard takes his spot, and I don't miss my Rock Slide and crush his starter. Then he sends out Executor, and he is chopped in half with an Aerois. Rodon gets demolished by a Brick Break, and he sends out his final Pokemon Gyarados. We both miss our moves, and I realize I'm out of Rock Slide PP, and I switch over to Aerois, and it only does about half, and then he retaliates with a Hydro Pump that leaves me at 62 HP. All the way from 144 HP. I gain back 10 HP from leftovers, but if I low roll or don't fake Gyarados in the next attack, and I get hit by Hydro Pump, it's back to another reset. But luckily, that don't happen, and we become champion with just a Mankey. Thanks for watching. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe for more. Have a good day.